Hello everyone, welcome to this brand new Python course. If you have never written a single line of code before, then you are in exactly the right place. This series is designed from scratch for complete beginners. But don't worry if terms like programming, coding, variables, or functions sound confusing right now. By the end of this course, you will understand all of them step by step. Before we begin, let me tell you one thing. Programming is not about being a genius. It's about learning how to think logically and solve problems. Anyone can learn it with consistent practice. So let's begin our Python journey. Before I start on today's course, I want to tell you that if you know about programming, about what programming is, why programming is needed, so I would suggest you to skip the first 5 to 7 minutes of this video because I'm going to explain about programming and stuff and why it's important on our day-to-day lives. So now let's begin. In today's video, we are going to answer some very basic but very important questions. What exactly is Python? What is programming? Why is Python so popular? Where is Python used in the real world? And finally, we will install Python on our computer and write the very first Python program. By the end of today's class, you will have written your first piece of code. It may seem small, but every professional programmer started exactly where you are starting today. Even I got to know about coding when I was in class 4, right? So they first taught about logo. Then on 5, I moved to basic. Till 5, I did not have any clear idea what is happening on this computer. Why is programming needed? I can do these simple things on pen and paper also. So by 5, the things were clear, simple, really simple. But as I moved to upper classes, I realized that programming is very important, right? So in our day-to-day lives, let me start with an example. Imagine you have a very intelligent robot standing in front of you. You tell the robot, please bring me a glass of water. Now the robot looks at you but doesn't move. Why? Because the robot doesn't understand English. It only understands a special language made for machines. So instead of speaking English, you need to give instructions in the language the robot understands. The same thing happens with computers. Right, as you know, that computer understands only zeros and ones. Basically, it understands only about binary language, which we will talk about later on this series. So, what does a computer understand? A computer is actually very powerful. It can perform billions of calculations in a split of a second. But there's one problem, it cannot think on its own. It doesn't understand English. It doesn't know what open Chrome, play music, or calculate my marks means. Instead, it only understands instructions. Every time you open YouTube, every time you play Free Fire, every time you order food online, every time you use Google Maps. Some programmer has written instructions telling the computer exactly what to do. Those instructions are called a program, and the process of writing those instructions is called programming. So let's take a simple example from our daily life. Suppose your mother asks you to make a cup of tea. So would she simply say like, go and make a cup of tea? No, there are several steps involved. What she will teach you, like to take a pan, pour water, add tea leaves, add sugar, boil it, add milk, boil again, filter it, serve it. If you skip any step, the result changes. Programming works in exactly the same way. Computer follows instructions one by one. It never skips a step, it never assumes anything, it only does exactly what you tell it to do. What is a programming language? So here's a question. If computers don't understand English, how do programmers communicate with them? The answer is simple through programming languages. Just like humans use English, Hindi, Bengali, French, or Spanish to communicate with each other, programmers use languages like Python, Java, C++, JavaScript, and many others to communicate with computers. A programming language acts as a translator between humans and machines. So, why are there so many programming languages, right? So, if Python exists, why do we need Java? If Java exists, why do we need CPP? So, why are there so many programming languages? Isn't it a bit confusing, right? So, if we think it of as a way, like for different vehicles, they are assigned different tasks. An aeroplane can't do land traveling, or a train can't fly to your destination. We choose one depending on our situation, right? Similarly, programming languages are designed with different goals in mind. Some are very fast, some are very secure, some are easier to learn, some are better for websites, some are better for mobile apps, and some are excellent for artificial intelligence, just like Python. Python is one of the easiest languages to learn, which is why millions of beginners start with it. So, where is Python actually used? Many beginners think Python is only for writing small programs. That's not true. Python is used almost everywhere. If you're interested in artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, Claude, or any AI things, Python is the most popular language for that. If you want to become a data scientist, you will use Python every day. If you want to automate repetitive tasks, Python is one of the best choices. Many websites use Python on the backend. Cybersecurity professionals use Python to write tools and automate security testing. Scientists use Python for research. Financial analysts use Python to analyze large amounts of data. Even NASA has used Python in several of its projects. That's why learning Python opens doors to many of different career paths. So now we know what programming is and why Python is such an important language. It's time to install Python on our computer. Don't worry, it only takes a few minutes. Follow every step carefully, and by the end of the installation, you will be ready to write your very first Python program. Yeah, so to install Python, we need to go to this website, python.org. Press enter, go to downloads, download it from there, right? Now, during installation, there is a very important step. You will be asked, instead we get to see a drop box. Uh, there could be an option. Uh, that there could be a option, yeah. Add Python to path. Click on this option, right? And then click install. And after installation, you need to open command prompt to check if you have downloaded the correct version. Type cmd over here, then press enter, type your Python, hyphen, double hyphen, then version, then press enter here. So I have the version of Python which is 3.14.6. That means I'm having the latest version of Python. If this is not, if this command is not working, then you can type this also. Oh, so yeah, this is not working. Use this only Python version. So now Python is installed. So now we need to write a code somewhere. So basically, there are many code editors. You may also get an online code editor. But if you want to download a code editor on your system, there are various options like VS Code, PyCharm, Jupyter Notebook, ideally. For this course, we will use VS Code, that is Visual Studio Code. I personally choose this because it's free, lightweight, and industry standard. So you can install VS Code again from Chrome, tap your VS Code and see. Here's the download option. I did the same thing when I was a beginner. See, download this if you have Windows, download this if you have Mac. Now, how do I start my VS Code, right? So first you need to create a folder. Name it Python. See, I have also a folder called Python because to do my Python stuff, I usually use this folder. So after creating this folder, we need to go to VS Code. To open, yeah. So this folder was open, but let me teach you that how you are going to add a folder. So you will see this option, view folder option. At this option, you can add your new folder. And after you have done adding your new folder, then press this new file or name your file something like you're doing Python, right? You name your file like python1 py. Py means that you are telling VS Code that you are writing your code in Python. If you had want to write your code in C, then you would have written Python when you have written dot C extension over there. Just like we do for saving documents or JPG images or PDF, you right? We use dot PDF. It's similar to that. Now press enter. So this is your screen, right? Now we're going to write the first code which every programmer, everyone who has done coding in his life have surely written this code 100%. Suppose if you want to say something to someone, you like, hey, bring me that glass of water. Hey, do this thing for me. Similarly, if you want something displayed on your screen, we use print. Uh, Sorry, I forgot to tell you, but in VS Code, you need to add some extensions. How are you going to add extensions? Go to settings. See, here is extensions. Search your Python. So download these extensions over here. These are from Microsoft. Download these extensions. It would make the coding easier. That's yeah. So right, where were we? Print. So print is basically a function in Python that helps you to display a message on the output screen. Uh, Many people confuse like you say print is a statement, but actually print is a function because you will as it teach you later, a function always comes with parentheses. So inside the parentheses, you need to open inverted quotes and type whatever message you want to print. So if you're new to this, type your hello world. Let the world know you're learning coding. Like so the quotation marks over here indicate the text. Like see what text is going to be on your output screen, and the computer simply displays it. Now try changing the statement something which you would like. I am a and let's run this. The output has come over here. I am a boy. Now, if I print something just below it, then now I am a man, and then print it. See, now this print is coming below the I am a boy line. That means a print function always takes a new line for itself. Now, you print like this. Open inverted commas, close inverted commas, add a comma, open inverted commas, close inverted commas, add a comma, open inverted comma, close inverted commas, add a comma. So you should do this on an increase page. Yeah, so here we got. So if I'm going to now print this, see here, I am a man. So have you noticed what's happened? The comma over here added a space in between the words. So these are the different methods in which you can use print, but the convenient method is the first one, right? Add a comma beforehand only. Print the whole thing at once. Don't print single words at a time using commas because that would be inconvenient, but it can be done in this way. So I needed to show you this. Now, what you can do, you can try printing your favorite over here, like print, type your value there. Go to next line, print, type your road number, go inside it, print, in which college you study. These are the things in which you can try on your own. Uh, Now I've taught you about print statements. Let me point out the common mistakes everyone makes. Right. You have written print but forgot to close your inverted comma. See, it's showing red line. That means I've made an error over here. You forget to close your parentheses. It's again an error. If you write the spelling of print wrong over here, it will show an error. Right. And Python is very case sensitive. If you write P over here in capital, it would not take it as a function because it treats uppercase letters and lowercase letters very, very differently. Let's do this. Yeah. And so make sure you don't make mistakes in this statement, right? So the summary till here is that we learned what programming is, what Python is, why Python is popular, how to install Python, how to write a first program, how the print function works, and common beginner level mistakes. Now it's your turn to create a Python program which prints your name, age, favorite game, favorite food using the print functions.